Good morning YouTube, Sackboymahalo here with another video, and this time we're gonna talk about how can you make your dragon fruit plant start to fruit in a year or less, meaning less than a year. Or I've seen people say that their dragon fruit started having fruit in about 8 months. Is that possible? Well, it is. So this is how to have your fruit planting bear fruit in record time. And you start with a cutting that's long. Before, I used to have I'll buy a long cutting and I'll cut it in pieces, short pieces, and I'll plant it. So I'll cut them in pieces so I can plant in 4 posts, and this will ensure that your planting will bear fruit in more than a year. Now, how do you make it? How do you shorten your dragon fruit so that it'll bear fruit in less than a year? Well, you start with a long cutting like this and you plant it like that. You know that fruiting season or flowering starts at about June time frame. Now if you go back 8 months before, which is maybe November of a year before, then that's the time you plant your long cutting. So plant it November time frame. So by the time June comes, your plant is matured and ready for flowering and fruiting. So if you look at this cutting here, it's really long and there's less growing needed for the plant to mature. So it's possible to have a fruit in about 8 months. Now if you put this cutting on your post, this long cutting, as you can see, like this one here, see it needs less growing for it to reach your top of your post and start bending out. You can see this one here is really long. Now if you plant a long cutting, then you have less time for the dragon fruit to mature and start bearing fruit. So if you plant your long cutting maybe November time frame, by the time June comes, your cutting has matured and ready for flowering and eventually fruiting. So there is really a chance for cuttings to start bearing fruit in 8 months. Okay, that's about it. Thank you very much for watching. Have a good one.